Good morning, everybody. It's Shanda Sumpter and Edwina Murphy-Droomer from Australia at 1 o'clock in the morning. I just want to say for everybody who watches the replay of this, Edwina is up at 1 o'clock in the morning here having coffee with us, having greens with us, or whatever it is that you're drinking right now. What are you drinking?
Water. It's water.
You're like, I'm just up. Anyway, beautiful to have you. Thank you for being live with us this morning and talking about really like how you've been able to create a business, like how you've been able to take a vision and create a business and be able to, do something with your life that really is impactful for people who are watching you. So I'm excited to dive into that and see how you did it and just kind of go from there. How does that sound?
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. I'm so thrilled to be here, Shanda. It's so exciting.
Awesome. Okay, so you did, actually, let's just start with before I met you. Before I met you, how did we meet?
I think I came across you, I think just a webinar came across my news feed, and I was absolutely in shiny object syndrome. It was like I've done so many courses and it was always just that next piece, that next piece, that next piece, and like how to do webinars and how to do this, and I'd done all this work, but just wasn't, nothing was growing. It was work with no result, and something brought me to you, and I signed up to List Power, and was nearly, it was a year ago now, and that was the absolute turnaround. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So a webinar, so basically a promotion came across where I was marketing, and I was marketing to find someone like you that I could support, which I just want to just unpack that for a second, because some people like even have a bad taste in their mouth about marketing. And it really is the thing that, like, when someone's looking for you and you go out and you put enough marketing out there, it's actually where the enrollment already starts. It already starts with someone saying yes to whatever method or methodology that you're actually sharing out there that makes sense to them. So then you watched my webinar, and then from our webinar, we made an offer for you to be able to jump into List Power. So you jumped into List Power about a year ago. You launched a whole online series that was it called A League of Extraordinary Mothers?
Yeah. Which is now turned into a show. Yeah.
Which now has turned into a complete online show that you've done now 3 series. You're on your 3rd series of it. You've built an incredible audience. It's crazy. It's awesome. Like, do you realize that like even like some of your weeks of income are what some people make in an entire year?
Yeah. It's quite crazy.
It's quite amazing, right? It's so amazing. So before I unpack all of that, why did you pick to stand for mothers?
I guess really it is the audience that I connect with the most, because that's me. That's the life that I've been living. My eldest son is now 19. My youngest is 11. I was a single mum with 4 kids, under 8 originally, and that's when my first marriage broke up. And so I've been in the trenches, and I know absolutely what it's like. And I'm one of those mums that's always done things a little bit outside the box and educated my kids alternatively, and just been so passionate about real food and about getting them out in nature. And I just know the benefits of these really simple tweaks to having healthy kids.
Well,
and that's that I'm sharing.
What I also love about this, it's not like you just, the other day I had Randy on, who's one of our clients. She's a doctor, right? And it's like, it's cool because you've got Randy, who comes from, PhD as a doctor, speaking at, high-end schools like Harvard and things like that. And then you've got you, who is like just a serious mom that is really committed to like her kids having the best life possible, being in nature. And both of you guys, like with different educational backgrounds and what it is that you mastered in life, came to the forefront and were able to create audiences and be able to create businesses and be able to create models that really fit into your individual characteristics. That's pretty cool to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's super cool to me. So, okay. So now when you look at, you're standing here today, how come, like, I wish everybody who followed every formula would be successful, but why were you successful?
total and utter passion. I think I just feel so passionate about what I teach and what I'm doing. And with the online shows, it's the connection piece. So it's not just, the women that I'm connecting with, it's other people that are doing similar work out there in the world, and just feeling like you're creating this fantastic team effort that's lifting women up across the globe. It's not just people in my community. There's people across the globe that are connected to this and then inadvertently becoming connected. And it just feels like this amazing kind of space that's been created.
Do you feel like you've had a really good support inside of Heartcore to build out your
Unbelievable.
about that, because I think it sets a standard for people as they're building out their communities to hear this.
Well, I mean, the women that I have met through doing List Power originally a year ago, my accountability partner, Evram, I met doing List Power a year ago, and then we connected. She's from Turkey. She lives in England. So there's people, there's just a whole lot of women that started on that journey, and we're still on the journey together. Not to mention the coaches that, I spoke to Jean Marie that very first time that I rang a year ago, and she has just been an ongoing support to me, the coaches in the community, and there's just this fantastic sense of support that goes on all the time. You're never alone.
Yeah, that's a good point. I love your heart, Edwina. Like before we got on, we were just chatting about like your business and what you're doing with mothers, and I love the name. Like I love the name, a League of Extraordinary Mothers. I love that show. I mean, I could see that being a Netflix show. Like that, it's a great stand. You should actually look into that. But it's like you were saying, we're no longer putting out education to give the moms like more things to do, because they already know what they should do. You were holding them high. Like I talk about, broke ass marketing, like speaking down to your people and like telling them like this, you know what I mean, while you're doing your marketing, and then actually speaking up to people. And you genuinely just do this so naturally because you see your women, your mothers, you were like, they're educated, Shanda. They're educated, they're smart. They know what to do. They know they need to feed their kids healthy food. They know, but they're just trying to keep it all together. Like just get the lunchbox done and get them out the door, and they're just trying to keep it all together. So what was your intention with your show like this round?
My big passion is that I feel like we've outsourced our power to everybody else. So every time a child gets an earache, we go to the doctor. Every time they sniffle, everybody else is, we've set up this way in our society where everyone else knows better about what we should do for our kids than we do. And this is my real passion, is to go, actually, as mums, we know what's best for our kids, and we've got to trust that again. So it doesn't matter whether, the first show was very much for mums with teenage girls, and just, we've been teenage girls, reconnect with that and use that power that's in you, that passion, to connect with your girls. That's, first up. The second series was all about food. Everybody knows we're supposed to be eating real food. Everyone knows that the way we're eating is damaging our health. It's basic stuff. It's just that step, trust yourself. So this third series that will go live in May is very much that piece of speaking to other mums that are, already tapping into that kind of fire in their belly, and they're excited and they're motivated and they're putting into action the stuff that they already know. So that's what this third show is about.
Like waking them up. So instead of being in the grind of life, you're actually setting an intention with all of your content that you're putting out right now to like have moms like integrate with their passion, so it's actually more fun for them to do what they're doing versus being in the like, oh my God, I know, here's another checklist.
Yeah. And also, for mums in Australia, particularly, having a coach is a pretty novel thing. It's, only people that do sport have coaches. So
I'm coming out there, by the way. We have a plan to actually come out there and do some events.
Yay! Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, we're doing the UK at the end of this year, and then we're hopping over to Australia.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that's so exciting. That's so exciting. So yeah, so just, as I talk to mums, I'm, introducing them to the whole idea of having a coach. But the idea is that we're not supposed to do it alone. We're supposed to work together as women to do this. So yeah, I love it. Mm.
So right now, currently, so how old is your business? Is it about a year old? Like, did you start it with me?
Yes. There's yes and no, because my background was in naturopathy and functional nutrition. So I've got this kind of background, but I've just been, like one tiny thing at a time, writing courses that nobody saw, doing workshops that I could get one or two people to and charge them nothing. And, just this bit of not working. So yeah. I guess the real lift off in my business is a year old. Mm.
That's super cool. So right now you're doing more high end. So meaning that you're doing higher end tickets to work with mothers directly, yep. Right? Yep. And the next tier, the next tier from that will be you doing more virtual workshops, right? And or retreats. So the cool thing about retreats is you can literally, I do 2-day intensives and I also do 4-day intensives, right? But I do 2-day intensives that we actually offer for free out there right now. It's called Coach Yourself to Success. And you know the value of list power, right? You know the value of list power. I actually teach list power and Coach Yourself to Success completely for free. It's what I'm doing all the way across the coast right now of California, because I believe that we're heading towards a recession. I believe we're heading towards a global recession. And so that's just me. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know, but I've read a lot of data on it and it really looks like that's about to happen. And so I'm educating as many people as I can, like you, so that people can get liftoff inside of their businesses. And many people have gone from list power to pace like you have. They've followed that trajectory, or you want to call it a funnel. That was a funnel that I didn't even know would work. It wasn't set up that way. It just happened because after people did list power, they wanted to learn how to actually put like the models and, the selling or the enrollment, however you want to do it, and how do you strategically grow. Yeah. But what I want to share with you and everyone is sometimes you look at like you have a really great heart, Edwina, and there's some people who do our programs who have a good heart too, but they're not as generous as you. They're still doing it just to get the income. And there is a shift. I've realized that when people we're actually doing we're actually merging another company. We're pretty much done with this right now into our company. And he was setting some trajectories of growth. And I said, make the trajectory focus on people versus profits. Yeah. Because if you focus on people, then what happens is the profits always end up being there because you can do things. You can do things to tweak your model to make it more profitable, right? Like you could take some virtual, some live. But anyway, I share this with everyone because I moved what I think Evan Pagan calls the free line. I moved my free line to be extraordinarily generous, where I'm taking what you invested in and giving it to people at the Coach Yourself to Success workshops. In those workshops, they do have an opportunity if they want to work with us in PACE, they could do that. But with that being said, like you could take what you're doing and you could actually provide maybe not free workshops at this stage. You might do a paid workshop where you do it in an intensive. Here's why I was sharing all this with you, is that I got paid to do list power in Toronto and I did it over 2 days and everybody actually did the results. Like everybody had worked through the entire system all the way through in 2 days. And I was like, ding, 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 ding. Like, oh my God, like I could teach this instead of over 60 or 90 days through a teleconference line. I could teach this in a workshop. Well, the truth is that I could charge $7,000, $10,000 for that workshop easily. To come and be in a room with me and work with me for 2 days around this topic, I could easily charge that, right? And so I share this with you and everybody watching because you could take whatever you're doing virtually and you could do it in intensives and you could charge $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 for a short amount of time. and actually get incredible results with human beings, because they have to put things into action when you're there. Like the thing that even your mothers face are like, okay, I know what to do, but like, like I can't, I don't have space to implement. So I just want to put this out to everybody who's watching, because when you can take what you do and put it in, let's call it a retreat, or call it an intensive, or call it a workshop, or call it whatever you want, a mastermind. They're all the same thing. These are all the same thing. They're just in intensives that people can come together and do your guys' work and get incredible results. And get incredible results in a short period of time. And then the cool thing is when your people get incredible results, they want to work with you.
Yeah.
They want to stay with you. And the goal, not even the goal, the way to creating wealth is not actually just figuring out what you're selling, how to sell it, and to sell more of it. It's actually to have reoccurring members, reoccurring, clients. And so because once you have reoccurring, then your profit margins go up, which means you take more money home. I'm so tired of hearing people say, oh, I did this product launch and I made $100,000. Yeah, but you kept 20,000.
Yeah.
And it took you 6 months of your life to do, because of all the prizes and not to confuse anybody, but don't get fascinated with people's dollar amounts of income. Get fascinated with what their profit margins are. And so when you do the whole system of growing a company, you think like, what am I going to sell? How do I first build an audience that wants it, versus having to rely, like many teachers rely on schools to feed them their income. And their client base or their parents, or like many people that are entrepreneurs are like, they're waiting for the big opportunity with that joint venture partner, or, you know what I mean? Like it's always outside them. Like exactly what you said about mothers outsourcing our decisions with our children, right? Like it's like we go to the doctor and we're like, you make the decision on what should happen with our children, because I have no idea. Where you do, stop feeding them sugar, put them on a better diet, have them start eating fermented food, then all of a sudden, wow, they start to get healthy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So no different than you as a human being. Put better food in your body and you're going to be healthier, right? But it's like we are still outsourcing growing a business. We're thinking it's going to be that coach that does it for us. And you guys, like, we don't do the lifting for you. You know this. You don't do the lifting for your own clients. You provide the information. You help them. But I do believe if you can figure out a way of getting people into a container at the beginning of your business where you can work with them in an intensive, you can get liftoff really quickly, because they're going to get a better result if they're in a room with you. I've just realized that, in the last couple of years, I've really realized that. In the last year, it's been like a aha. And so strategically, if you're just starting a business, if you can put people into a room and get them an amazing result first, that will really create some reoccurring, members, buyers, tribe members of whatever it is that you're offering. So that's my 2 cents on that. So Edwina, what would be your advice for entrepreneurs, or even people who are teachers or in corporate jobs that are watching you right now and have this pull that they know that they were meant for more? What would you say to them?
It's really hard. It's so passionate about what you do, and you can't put it down. That's my biggest struggle, and that's the thing that I'm endlessly trying to tap into, is actually making myself stop and take a break, because I love what I do so much that I could literally just work at it 24 hours a day, and it's that labor of love.
So basically, pick something that you're really passionate about.
Yes. You can't fake it.
You can't fake it. That's so true. And I will tell you, as a coach, you'll be much more successful if you can pick something that you're passionate about. And also pick a model that's going to work so you don't burn out. Because at the end of the day, I've seen many people go from being super passionate about what they do to not loving it anymore, because their model is driving them into the ground. So that's it. Our coffee with Shanda is over today. Thank you for getting up. I know it's like
go to bed
in the morning now. And God bless you for getting up and making a difference for all the people who get to watch. And I don't know if you're coming to the Zone event this year, but hopefully you are, because I would love you to be there with all of us at the end of September.
Well, I came last year, and I'm actually going to be in the States 5 times this year for leadership. So yeah, I'm there. I'm around.
Oh, that's great. What leadership program are you in with us? HCL what?
HL9.
Woohoo! Well,
Yep.
I'll see you in the room and I'll give you a big hug. So talk to you soon, Edwina. Everybody, thank you for being on 7 a.m. Coffee with Shanda. We do this Monday through Friday, except the last week of the month, because just what Edwina said is we actually take flex time, which means that we go dark. We go dark the last week of the month so that I just spend time with my family and my friends and doing whatever it is that I want to do as a woman. And but Monday through Friday, the first 3 weeks of the month, we are here live on Coffee with Shanda. So tomorrow we also have a really exciting Coffee with Shanda. I also have another one of my clients who did our models in a completely different way. And the reason why I'm doing this right now is because there's so many people exploding in our communities that sometimes it's hard to just listen to me talk business. It's powerful to listen to people at different levels of the game talk business and talk about what they're doing, how they're implementing, and what's becoming successful. Because at the end of the day, business is business is business. And when you hear it from different angles, you never know when that moment's going to click. And you're like, oh my God, I'm her or I'm him. And I can do that. All right. Talk to you soon tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.